All right, let's pick some division winners here. We're also going to incorporate some gambling into this. We're looking at the odds for the DraftKings Sportsbook, and first one on there, NFC East. The betting favorite at the moment is the Dallas Cowboys plus 125.
That's actually shocking to me.
You
Like
think?
yeah, I mean, don't people learn?
You would think at this point,
We've
right?
seen this happen.
Yeah,
They can have the best roster on paper,
but
but
that team is incomplete.
they never get it done in this
No,
modern era. I mean,
defense is still in shambles.
they had that one year where Dak came in and Zeke was a rookie, and they blew the doors off the league, and it was like really impressive.
Offensive line was clearly the best in the league.
Yeah, but since then, I mean, they have not had a dominant
No,
run.
they've been so subpar.
So I think I don't agree with that being the favorite for sure. You know, it's funny we did this exact same exercise about a week ago off air, except we were at the Columbus Brewdog Hotel, beer hotel, and we were sipping on some beers, just going back and forth with each other. And my brother just talking about who we think division winners are. So it's fun to carry that conversation over to the pod. Not as many beers involved today, unfortunately.
No, unfortunately.
But no, I would pick. I think what I said when we were talking about it initially was that I would pick the Giants.
I'm right there with you.
I know that adding Fitzmagic, everyone seems to be like, oh, well, the football team has their quarterback and they're just going to repeat. The NFC's never repeats. It's I mean, maybe not never, but it's like it's always up in the air. So I think the Giants. I think they have the best roster on paper, maybe better than the Cowboys.
I think so too.
And they really had stretches of last year where they looked like they were putting all the pieces together. The biggest question mark for me, and I think most everyone else, is probably Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones, the offensive line.
Saquon back.
Can Saquon stay healthy? Because I mean, like, I think that guy's blown out his ACL 2 years in a row now. Like, he's got to be able to stay healthy because obviously Daniel Jones isn't going to be the quarterback to throw for 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, no picks every game.
You know, it'd be saucy if, let's say this year doesn't go super well for Daniel Jones because he's got no more excuses. Like this year, he has to produce.
Yeah.
They need to get wins, and he needs to have like a convincingly good season. What would be saucy is if we just talked about Deshaun Watson being moved. I mean, hey, what if things don't work out and he finds his way here? That'd be a pretty stacked team. I don't know if they could make that work financially, to be honest, but
I'd be shocked. But what would it take for you to? I mean, like, what if the Giants went like 9-7, won the division?
That sounds like a typical NFC East year. Last year, the division winner was 7-9, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, they were terrible. I don't think that's going to happen again this year, though. Do you think that? I mean, Daniel Jones has a very subpar season. Do you think that's enough for them to move on? Because I mean, like, we very well could see that they have every single position covered except for that.
If I'm the GM, it's enough for me. I mean, he's flashed. He's had some really good moments, but he's also had some not so good ones. And like, I don't know if the Jets can move off of Sam Darnold at this point.
Yeah, well,
like I would think that's
Daniel a little Jones different. I feel like because I mean the Jets were freaking horrible.
I feel like the Giants are in about year 12 of this rebuild. Like I feel like they've been in a rebuild for the last decade. They've been so
them and us both.
Yeah, tell me about it. But the only reason I would maybe give Dallas a chance to win, because obviously we know Philly's out of the conversation.
Philly's out of the conversation. I don't have faith in the Redskins. Sorry, football team.
Yeah, I don't have faith in Ryan Fitztragic, to be honest. Yeah. So, but the only reason that we could maybe give the Cowboys a shot here is because I could very much foresee a scenario where Dak just like comes back from his injury and just like lights it up.
Yeah, I guess I don't know.
Like that's the only.
I think he's so overrated, but
and Zeke has like noticeably slowed down.
Way
like production is way down.
Yeah.
So, like, I know they got Tony Pollard with him too, and it's kind of a nice 1-2 punch, but he's not the same guy that was, dominant in the NFL. Like
I mean, that offensive line is definitely not what it was a couple of years ago either. I think they've lost some guys, and I think the injuries keep riddling that offensive line.
I just think across the board, the Giants seem like they check
Yeah.
most boxes, and the additions that they've made are really good. So
I agree. All right. Let's do one that I think is going to be super easy. AFC West. Betting favorite by far, probably the biggest betting favorite in here. Yeah. Kansas City Chiefs minus 335.
yeah, I agree with them. The Chiefs are kind of the new Patriots, right? They're
Yeah.
going to keep rolling and winning.
It's a lock.
I will say that the division it's not exactly a cakewalk. I mean,
No.
who knows how Justin Herbert will continue to develop. He did a lot of amazing things rookie year, and the Chargers are an interesting team. The other two, we've been talking about Denver a little bit. We don't really know where they're at right now without a quarterback.
Here's something interesting. Kansas City's favorite, right? Denver Broncos and the LA Chargers are both plus 600. Those are the next ones.
You're joking.
The Las Vegas Raiders plus 1,800.
Yeah, Chucky is his value is pretty low.
Zero faith in the Raiders at the moment.
Well, they let go a quarter of their roster, the veterans on the roster, and are making some interesting moves, I guess. Well, they're another team. They're like the Giants in my eyes. The Raiders do need to they got to step on it. They got to hurry up. Gruden's in year 4 now, and they haven't done anything.
Yeah.
I heard that Jack Del Rio, by the time that he was at this point with the Raiders, had a better record than Gruden.
Yeah,
and they fired him.
Shock me, Blackjack
Del Rio. Yeah, and they fired him, and they moved on to Gruden. So I think Gruden's safe. It's maybe I don't know about Mayock though. I mean, Mayock's had some really weird choices, but no, Kansas City seems like the safest pick here
by far.
The other teams have a lot of question marks and things going for them, but the Chiefs are just
they're still the Chiefs.
Yeah,
they're not going anywhere.
You know what you're getting with them.
All right, here comes an interesting one. AFC East. The Buffalo Bills are the betting favorite at minus 150, followed by the Dolphins at plus 325, followed by the Patriots at 350. I don't need to name the Jets because there's absolutely no shot they win.
Well, who do you think?
I'm taking Buffalo. I think that is just all around the best team in that division.
There's no reason to argue that. I mean, I don't know, man. I'm kind of interested in Miami a little bit.
Yeah, see, that's the last team I would pick, besides the Jets, of course.
Really? The last one besides those three?
I don't have, after seeing what Tua did last season, I have zero faith in that guy.
I don't understand why everyone is so down on him. I don't get it.
He just didn't play good.
He didn't play
like
horrible. Justin Herbert.
Yeah,
or he didn't play like Joe Burrow, but he still did some good things. Also, when he was coming out of the draft last year, he was coming off of an ACL injury.
No, much worse. He actually broke his hip.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's coming off a horrible injury, and we didn't even know if he was going to play last year. And he also came out and said, "Hey, with COVID and with the pandemic and stuff, I didn't have enough time to properly get into the playbook." And when I was in, they kind of
did he really?
Yeah, he had
excuses guy, huh?
Well, he said that he's owning that. I mean,
down
that's
the
on
toilet
him.
with him.
I think he's one of those guys that people are sleeping on a little too hard. I don't know.
I don't know.
He was a rookie. I mean, I don't you're just going to throw the whole thing out. Man, well, the Dolphins did a lot of good stuff last year. They almost made the playoffs last year, even with Tua playing.
I mean, they would have made it if they kept Fitzpatrick in.
Maybe. It's a really good roster. They're super well coached. I think they're at least worth the conversation. It's such a tough division now.
It is.
I mean, minus the Jets, the Patriots.
I put the Patriots above them if they start Mac Jones.
Well, they're going to go with Cam until his noodle arm stops going. Mac and cheese.
He got injured already, didn't he?
Mac Jones?
No, Cam. I think he injured his hand or something.
Guys made a great start. Yeah, off to a great start there. All right, you got Buffalo. I'm going to say Miami, just for the heck of it. I'm going to say Miami.
Okay.
What's their payout?
Plus 325.
I mean, we'll go lock that in later.
Yeah. Probably the most spicy division this year, the NFC West.
I thought you were about to say the NFC North.
No.
It's the most spicy division every year.
Oh, man.
The NFC West. I'm going to take a guess before you read it.
Okay.
I'm going to guess that they have the Rams as the favorite.
No, actually not. It's very close, though.
Okay.
It's San Francisco plus 185, the LA Rams plus 190, the Seattle Seahawks plus 275, which is pretty high up, I feel like.
Yeah.
And then the Arizona Cardinals plus 600.
I
think the Arizona Cardinals you kind of just shovel them out at the moment.
Yeah, I don't.
It's a three horse race.
Yeah, well, they've made all these moves, like bringing in AJ Green and JJ Watt, and like
a
these
lot of old people.
A lot of these like the 2016 Pro Bowl team.
Yeah,
bring that in, but I mean they're making moves like that, and to me that tells me that telegraphs that they're like, hey, we are a division winning team, and we're just adding a couple more sprinkles on top to this roster.
Yeah, well, that's what they think.
That's what they think. Yeah, I don't see it that way.
No,
I see this is honestly is a 2-horse race. You said 3, but I see it as the Rams.
You're not counting Seattle.
I mean, I'm not going to count them in to win the division. I'm going to count them in to get a wild card because they seem to always find a way to keep themselves in the race. But no, I mean, I think for the division winner, I see this as just a battle between San Fran and the Rams. I would give the edge to the Rams.
I would too.
I don't know who has the easier schedule, but they're both very good teams.
But who won the division last year?
Rams
did, so they probably have a tougher. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Actually, because I mean, San Francisco came in 4th, so they're playing all the 4th place teams in the NFC. So they probably have a way easier schedule than the Rams do.
Well, I really like the 49ers a lot. I love the roster, and Jimmy G and Trey Lance is a pretty good quarterback room.
That's the one thing I feel like the Rams have over the 49ers.
I was going to say, absolutely agree.
Because I mean, like those teams are pretty even. They have probably the 2 best defenses in the NFL.
Yeah, Rams were number 1 last year.
Yeah. They don't have a big name running back. They don't have big name wide receivers. They both have decent offensive lines. It's just that the Rams have possibly a solidified, very good quarterback. I mean, everybody's going to throw Stafford a question mark until he actually starts playing on that team because he played for the Lions. But he is,
Stafford is already a better proven commodity than Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance.
Yes, absolutely.
We already know that for sure. So if it's just that question, the Rams edge them out at quarterback.
Yeah, I would agree.
And they are going to have the tougher schedule. They have a lot of primetime games too, and we've talked about it before. Like, who knows how Stafford is going to perform in these games because in his career thus far, he hasn't exactly been a slam dunk player in primetime. But hey, he's got a great cast around him now, so I feel comfortable locking them in as the winner.
I don't care who the quarterback is. If you play for the Lions on primetime games, chances are you're not going to do too well.
Not yet.
You picking the Rams?
Yeah, I think so. It's not an easy pick. I mean, I could see it going either way, but I'm going to go LA.
There might be some bias in that.
I think so, but I mean, we just talked about it. I think that they have the edge out in quarterback.
All right. I'm also picking the Rams, just for the record. AFC South, Indianapolis Colts, plus 105. Tennessee Titans, plus 110.
Are these updated odds now with Julio?
Yes, I believe so. Jacksonville Jaguars, plus 800. The biggest underdogs to win their division, the Houston Texans, plus 2,800.
Oh, my God.
They absolutely have zero faith in the Houston Texans, rightfully so. I think I'm going to side with you on this one. I think I'm going to pick the Colts to win the division.
Yeah,
I hate Carson Wentz.
I don't love Carson Wentz either, but he had his best years in Philly when Frank Reich was there.
True.
And he's coming into a situation in Indy now where he's the unquestioned starter. And in Philly last year, I think there was a lot of
back and
insecurities going on when it comes to that, and it affected his performance a little bit, and it kind of just like destroyed the whole relationship with the Eagles.
Also, just a horrible, horrible team all around.
Oh, yeah. But now
I think he sucked on a horrible team, so who knows if he'll suck on a good team, but
I don't think he will, man. I think he
you think he'll show flashes of what he was?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's got a fresh start here. He's got some decent weapons. He's got a good head coach. I mean, it's an upgrade in every area.
Arguably the best defense in the NFL. I know that we keep touching on the Rams and 49ers, but the Colts 100% deserve some credit there as well.
I think it's kind of giving me vibes of when the Titans started playing Tannehill. Tannehill kind of came from a questionable Miami team, and he was the backup when he got there. They gave Mariota a shot.
Yeah.
But when he started playing in a more competent system and had better pieces around him, look what he's doing.
Yeah.
I think it's the same kind of situation with him in Indy. Like they're putting all their eggs in this basket, and I think it was a smart move. They didn't have to give up the farm to get him either. They got him for a pretty reasonable price. I think he could potentially this season maybe be the best quarterback in the division too. You never know.
Could be, absolutely.
Trevor Lawrence is still a rookie.
Yeah. Houston
has I don't know. They're gonna roll out like the Cabbage Patch Kids at quarterback or whoever. I don't know. They have no sort of plan, real plan there. The Titans got Tannehill, who would probably be the number 2, if not 1, in that whole division this season. Yeah. He's looking really good the last couple of years, but man, I'm just so much more hot on the Titans now after this Julio trade. I think that it's influenced.
Are you flip flopping?
I don't know. No, I'm going Colts. I'm going Colts. They're going to win.
I thought you were going to flip flop on
them. No, I am much more positive on them. But
interesting. I feel like I'm not more positive, but I'm not more negative on the Titans. I'm very stagnant on them right now.
I feel like I've given the Titans a much more positive buzz on this show in comparison to the last couple of shows. I'll put it that way.
I would agree.
What do we got next? AFC.
We're going to switch to the NFC South. Right. This is probably another easy one. Tampa Bay is the second highest betting favorite at -200. And then you have the New Orleans Saints, which is really their only competition at +300.
I agree with this.
Yeah. I think this is going to be Tampa Bay by a long shot.
The scary thing about Tampa is that they really got going at the end of last year, and they really started showing, wow, this team is scary.
Yeah.
So if they can keep that energy and just keep rolling.
I think because that was Brady's first season there. I think that they brought in a couple other pieces here and there during that last offseason, but now they're just bringing everybody back.
Yeah.
It's like the same exact roster, if not improved.
They're just resetting it.
And they're just resetting it, and I think that the chemistry will just carry right over into this upcoming season.
Yeah, and the rest of the division,
I think the rest of the division just massively regressed, except for maybe Carolina.
Carolina is improving, but they're not still far that level.
Away. Yeah.
Atlanta, we've touched on it. They are
regress.
Right. And New Orleans, they're kind of like Seattle, right? They're kind of always in the mix.
Yeah.
And sometimes they go on a run where they look dominant, but we right now have no clue what we're going to be getting with this offense, and who's going to be their quarterback and what the plan is. It's intriguing, but if we're just locking it in right now based on what we know, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are a safe commodity that we can.
100%.
That I feel like that's an easy lock.
That is an easy lock, 100%. I think this is an extremely spicy one as well. The AFC North, possibly the best division in football.
Besides the
arguably against the NFC West. Betting favorite is the Baltimore Ravens +125.
You're joking me.
Second, Cleveland Browns +145, and then you have the Pittsburgh Steelers at +400. Extremely disrespectful.
Yeah.
To the Pittsburgh Steelers, in my opinion.
Oh, I thought you were saying it's disrespectful to the Browns.
Well, it is. It is, and it's not. That's a tough division.
Yeah, why the Ravens? Why would you put them above Cleveland? Why would anyone?
I don't know.
I guess I get for Cleveland where it's like, okay,
it's just unbelievable that the Browns can win that division because they haven't done it.
They
basically ever.
They have been irrelevant for such a long time. It's kind of weird thinking of them as a powerhouse a little bit, but that roster is loaded. It's a loaded roster, and Baker was playing really good football last year.
I'd probably pick them to win the division too.
I would too. The Ravens and Lamar Jackson they're very good. It's a very good team, but I think Lamar, we kind of got a little Jekyll and Hyde last year.
Yeah.
Some games he would look pretty good, like the player he was in his MVP year. There's other games where he didn't look so good. You're pretty down on him.
Noodle Arm Jackson.
But Baker just looked better as the year went. The whole team looked better as the year went on. That wild card game, albeit was pretty wacky.
Yeah.
But the game that they played against the Chiefs, they were in that game the whole game.
Yeah.
And they had a shot to win it. Chase Daniel ended up having to come in and get it done for the Chiefs. But no, they made tremendous strides last year. And as long as they don't do Cleveland Browns things and regress in some goofball way, then I have no problem locking them in. I mean, I have more faith in them than any of the teams in this division this season. I think the Steelers are going to be interesting to watch with Harris too. You know what's funny about them? Didn't they start off 7-0 last year?
They started off 11-0.
And by the time that we
They
got
lost
to the
football
playoffs,
team.
everyone was just like,
They're a joke.
they're a joke.
Yeah.
Adding Najee Harris is pretty spicy to that team, I'll say that.
That's pretty spicy. But Big Ben, who knows what that guy has left in the tank? Not much. Heck, can't be that much.
I just saw a quote come out from Mason Rudolph saying that he is planning on being the starter of that team eventually, to which I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah, I can't wait to see that, buddy.
Lock me in for Cleveland, though. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. The Steelers also regressed in defense, I think, too, because they lost Bud Dupree, and then I think they lost somebody else, but I can't remember who it was.
They do have Micah Fitzpatrick, who's a darn
one of the
corner.
best safeties.
Yeah.
They still have T.J. Watt, who's arguably one of the best defensive linemen in the NFL at the moment. But yeah, I think Cleveland.
They lose Mike Pouncey, their center, their longtime center. He retired.
Yeah. So, I mean, who knows what's going to happen with that team? I can't imagine it's anything good. Cleveland clearly has the best, arguably the best roster on paper in the NFL currently.
I do think Pittsburgh's placement at 3, I agree with that. And Cincy at 4, we haven't even talked about them.
Because, I mean, like, there's no point. It's the same thing with the Jets. It's the same thing with the Falcons. We don't need to talk about them.
Are we going to watch Zach Taylor's last season here as Bengals head coach?
No, I don't think so.
They're a weird franchise, man. They
are a weird franchise, but I mean, like they held on to Marvin Lewis for what, 20 years?
Yeah, and he went exactly 500 in his record. I'm pretty sure. So.
Yeah, exactly 500
and no playoff wins.
So,
I don't know. Joe Burrow is pretty interesting. I think they'll be a better team. I think, but they're still,
they're still light years away.
This is not a team that's going to win the division.
They can't protect him. So, all right, last division. Let's see who we got here.
Oh well, you should know who it is.
That's right. It is the NFC North, the current betting favorite, obviously the Green Bay Packers, minus 121. And then we have the Minnesota Vikings. I love the fact that they are higher than the Chicago Bears at plus 225 and the Chicago Bears at plus 350, followed by the hometown team, Detroit Lions, at plus 2,000, which makes sense. There's no shot we win the division.
I might throw a little cheddar on it for those odds.
Brother. Wasted $10.
Yeah. I mean, this is one I don't feel like we can really argue too much on it. It all kind of hinges on Aaron Rodgers, though, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So if he's there, I mean, I think you can lock them up for at least 10 wins, and
here's what I would say.
Probably enough to get it done here.
Here's what I would say: if Rodgers is in the division, if you think Rodgers is going to be in the division, don't bet because there's no point.
Yeah.
If you don't think Rodgers is going to be in the division, I would bet the Chicago Bears.
Why them?
Just because I think Justin Fields is going to come in and it's going to rejuvenate that whole team. I think Matt Nagy's play calling is going to go back to how it was with Trubisky his first season, and they'll be fraudulent, but like good fraudulent, like how they were that first season.
Yeah, it's interesting. Just I've seen some clips of Fields at practice and some quotes and stuff have come out from OTAs, and like you can already kind of feel that he's bringing this swagger that they've been missing for a long time. And Trubisky, I don't think he was that kind of guy. I think he was. No, he does not seem like he was
silent
the kind of
leader.
Yeah, I mean, he just didn't have that same energy as Justin Fields, and Justin Fields seems like a guy who's like, I don't know, he's ready to like rock this thing. He's ready to be an NFL quarterback and love Chicago. And like, you think he was saying that one of his players from college got picked up by the Packers. His center from college got picked up by the Packers, I believe, and he was like, oh, he's on the wrong team.
Yeah,
he's already like embracing it. So it's good for them, and he's obviously had a great college career. So it's only a matter of time when he starts this year. He will play, no doubt. But the question is he going to play in the point of the year where there's still a relevant team in the race, or are they going to go with Dalton until they've exhausted all odds and they're like, okay, I guess let's see what we got with him. I think they're going to play him with himself a chance.
I agree. I think it's going to be very similar to Tua.
I was about to say that too.
I don't think that they'll get off to the start that Miami got off to last year.
Hey, man, the Bears, we didn't think they were going to get off to a 5-0 start last year, but they did.
Yeah, but
they were squirrely.
A lot of those wins were very squirrely and should not have happened. But I think Dalton will probably come in for like 2 games. I would imagine based on they have the Rams week 1, they're not going to win that.
That's a loss.
I don't know who they have week 2, but if it's a good team, they're probably not going to win that, and then they're going to go like, all right, put in Fields.
You think an 0-2 start is enough?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, Nagy and Pace are on the hot seat. They can't afford to really have a bad season here.
It's interesting. I think the opinion. See, when they drafted him, I thought that they're going all in. Like This is it. If they don't get this, they're done. But I think the opinion is more so now that they've bought themselves a little more time.
I think so too.
I think it's kind of shifted into
that. Now I'm thinking about it, I would agree with that because like they get to the end of it and they're like, oh God, we're so close. Let's just get one more year with Fields and see what we do.
I don't think that they would be wise to let Nagy go. I don't know about Pace. Pace kind of fumbled. I mean, he drafted Trubisky. That's his infamous worst thing ever. But, Nagy, he's gotten them to the playoffs 2 out of his 3 seasons there, and they've been relevant since he's been there. They haven't been a complete embarrassment. Get that? That's good.
And at times they have been.
But I don't.
Because you think about the expectations for that team, it has to be high.
I would honestly put the Bears at the same odds as the Vikings. I think
so too.
Because the Vikings, there's no guarantee that they're a slam dunk for number 2.
Absolutely.
I mean, they last year they looked terrible for a good stretch of the year.
5 weeks, yeah.
And Cousins is not.
He's not the guy. Hey, buddy, you're not that guy. You're not that guy.
No, he doesn't fit the modern NFL very well. No. He doesn't do anything super elite level, and I think that they're hopefully
he has his moments. Absolutely.
I think they got the same amount of odds. It just depends on if Rodgers is in Green Bay, lock in Green Bay. If he's not,
I wouldn't lock in Green Bay just because there's no. It's not a positive odd number. It's minus 121. So I mean, I don't see the value in that.
Yeah.
I mean, if he's there, then he's a lock. Probably it's probably a lock. So I mean, I guess you could throw some cheddar down on it. It would be more than a normal amount because you're trying to actually make some money.
Do we think if let's say Rodgers is gone and Jordan Love is the starter, do we think that there's any chance they win the division?
No, 0.
LaFleur's been there for 2 years, and they've been to 2 NFC championships.
That team is horrible without Rodgers. Unless Jordan Love comes in and is a good player, then maybe. But at the same time, you're throwing him into the fire at that point.
I don't disagree with you, but I just play devil's advocate here. Yeah. When we saw the Packers without Rodgers last, that was horrible. Mike McCarthy. Okay, and they had Brett Hundley as their backup, and it was really bad.
Yeah.
And now they have a different head coach who's had tremendous success since he's been there. He's been to 2 back-to-back NFC Championship games. With Rodgers, yes. But, they moved up to get Jordan Love. You have to assume that they like a lot about him. He's not – they probably view him as, definitely an above-average player if they moved up to get him. I mean, I don't think we can completely say that it would never happen. I think if Rodgers left the division, the thing that would happen is that the NFC North – for those 3 teams, we're not talking about the Lions, those 3 other teams becomes a very even playing field, yeah. I feel like it can be anyone's game at that point.
I just put them way down. I think Rodgers is that team at the end of the day. I think if you take him off that team, they are nowhere near what they are with him.
Well, history supports your side of this argument because we've seen it, so.